Maintenance. This video covers basic maintenance for Morse generator models GC40 and GCRS 4040, including the generator, John Deere engine, and rotary screw air compressor. Do not attempt to perform maintenance on this generator unless you are trained and qualified to do so. Personal injury or death may occur. Compressor maintenance. SCI 8 Integrated Rotary Screw Air Compressor. Compressor oil fill. Compressor oil drain. Oil sight glass. Thermal valve. Oil filter. Compressor air filter. Pressure relief valve. Pressure regulator valve. Coalescer. Compressor air pressure gauge. Service valve, half-inch FNPT. Minimum pressure valve. The air compressor included in this package is a self-contained integrated system which only relies on external cooling and power. It is an oil-flooded rotary screw which uses the included oil to both provide lubrication and complete the seal between the rotors. Without the proper level of clean oil, the compressor will stop working. It is important to allow the air compressor to reach its normal operating temperature in order to keep the oil from gathering too much condensation. Properly maintained, this compressor will be very reliable. This compressor relies on oil in order to operate. Not all lubricating oils are suitable for rotary screw compressor use. The most satisfactory oils are the non-detergent types that contain high levels of corrosion, oxidation, and foam inhibitors. Your Morse SCI 8 compressor is factory filled with Dexron 3 ATF. Other non-detergent motor oils, SAE 10W, Class SE or CD, and HD 32 hydraulic oil that meets the requirements below may be used. However, Morse recommends that you use Dexron 3 ATF. 1. Flash point 400 degrees minimum. 2. Pour point must be at least 20 degrees Fahrenheit lower than the lowest expected ambient temperature. 3. Contain rust and oxidation inhibitors. 4. Contain foam suppressors. Not following these guidelines when selecting a lubricant will possibly void your warranty and potentially cause property damage, injury, or even death. The oil level sight glasses on the side of the air compressor help you determine both the quantity of oil contained and its quality. The proper oil level when the unit is shut down and has had time to settle is the midpoint of the upper sight glass, shown here as a blue line. Oil should be checked every 10 hours or daily. This picture is of a unit prior to initial startup. The fluid level will normalize after running. Oil is to be filled from the port referenced by the yellow arrow. Total system capacity is 1 gallon, whereas the sump capacity is 3/4 of a gallon. The red arrow denotes the oil drain, which will be necessary to open during a complete oil change, recommended at 500-hour or 6-month intervals. This compressor may accumulate water via condensation from the air it compresses. To drain water, allow the unit to rest, turned off for 6 hours in order to allow the fluids to separate. Then open the drain and drain until the fluid changes from clear to red. Then quickly replace the cap. Never attempt to open a port, remove plugs, sight glasses, or caps while the compressor is running. All service is to be performed after the machine has had time to cool down and relieve system pressure. The air intake filter is a heavy-duty, single-stage, high-efficiency filter designed to protect the compressor from dust and foreign objects. Frequency of maintenance of the filter depends on dust conditions at the operating site. The filter element must be serviced when clogged. Maximum pressure drop for proper operation is 15 inches of water. This item should be replaced every 500 hours, except when operated under extremely dusty conditions. It should be checked daily and replaced only with genuine Morse replacement parts. Be sure to keep the inlet clear of obstruction and unblocked by extra equipment. Do not attempt to change the filter while the unit is running. Only replace with genuine Morse replacement filters. Compressor maintenance, air oil coalescer. To replace element, part number 302600, proceed as follows. 1. Shut down compressor and wait for complete blowdown, zero pressure. 2. Turn element counterclockwise for removal, as viewed from the top. 3. Rotate element clockwise by hand until element makes contact with the seal, as viewed from the top. 4. Rotate element at edge of can one more turn clockwise with band wrench. 5. Run system and check for leaks. The compressor oil filter is a cartridge. It is designed with a built-in bypass so that if there is a large restriction due to cold oil or clogged element, the compressor will still be lubricated. To replace filter, part number 302601, proceed as follows. 1. Make sure system pressure is relieved. 2. Unscrew the cap with 14 mm Allen wrench. 3. Remove oil filter from housing. 4. Remove and clean or replace screen. 5. Reinsert filter and gasket into housing and tighten into air end with 14 mm Allen wrench. 6. Add oil, retighten filler cap. 7. Check for leaks in operation. Your Morse industrial air compressor is belt driven. Properly maintained belts have an extremely long usage cycle. When you first receive your compressor generator package, it will be necessary to tighten the belt after 8 hours, as there will be some amount of initial elongation after this time period. Setting the belt properly and checking often for signs of wear will ensure the maximum life out of the belt. After the initial 8-hour maintenance, the belt should be checked every 50 hours or weekly. Pay attention for fraying or cracks in the belt. Test the deflection at this time and adjust as necessary using the above procedures. Remember to never remove the belt guard when the compressor is running. This is extremely hazardous. Your Morse Industrial Air Compressor package is based on an oil-flooded rotary screw air compressor. This unit requires proper oil levels in order to prevent rust, spin freely, dissipate heat, and produce air. Please be sure to maintain proper levels at all times. To help ensure that everything is working properly, it is important to check the compressor for leaks on each use. If you notice any fluids dripping or pooling, immediately turn off the unit. Investigate fully until you determine the source and fix a leak before attempting to run the machine again. Take care when filling the air compressor with oil that you do not overfill the unit. Overfilling can result in oil carrying over into the coalescing element and eventually out of the discharge line. It is possible to fill the unit to the extent that you cannot turn the air end. This could possibly destroy the belt, break a shaft on the generator, or prevent the machine from starting entirely. Please ensure that the oil level remains at the center of the upper sight glass at all times. Next to the coalescing element on the top side of the air compressor is a small silver-colored sight glass. Check this sight glass while the unit is running to ensure that oil is returning to the air compressor from the coalescer. This is literally a window into the oil return line, and when the compressor is turning over, you will be able to see flow past this point. If the compressor is turning and no fluid is visible in this port, there is a clog in the system. This will lead to oil starvation in the compressor and potentially cause the unit to overheat to the point of combustion. This can also be a cause of oil being blown through the discharge line. Engine maintenance. The Morse generator package comes from the factory with a John Deere engine installed. This engine is extraordinarily reliable given proper maintenance and care. The package is designed around this engine, and given its proper care, it will continue to provide the power to run the unit for years to come. Take time to inspect the fluids and check for leaks daily. It will help prolong the lifetime of the unit as a whole. Please note that in addition to the regularly scheduled maintenance, the manufacturer recommends an extended inspection after the first 100 hours of usage. John Deere engines are filled at the factory with John Deere engine break-in oil. During the break-in period, first 100 hours of usage, only use this oil. Add as necessary. It is available at John Deere service centers. Change the oil and filters after the first 100 hours of operation of a new or rebuilt engine. If John Deere engine break-in oil is not available, use a diesel engine oil meeting one of the following during the first 100 hours of operation: API Service Classification CE, API Service Classification CD, API Service Classification CC. After the initial break-in period, John Deere recommends John Deere Plus 50 2 oil. They recommend oil changes every 500 hours or yearly when using low sulfur diesel fuel, less than 1,000 parts per million. Using a fuel with higher sulfur content or using a replacement oil can more than double the frequency at which they recommend an oil change at a potentially maximum frequency of 125 hours or 3 months. Replacement oils include recommended John Deere Plus 50 2 and John Deere Plus 50. Other oils: John Deere Torque Guard, API CJ4, API CI4 Plus, API CI4, ACEA E9, ACEA E7, ACEA E6, ACEA E5, ACEA E4. Reduce oil and filter service intervals by 50% when using biodiesel blends greater than B20. Use only approved oil types. To change the engine oil and filter in your Morse generator package, follow these steps. To occur after the first 100 hours and every 500 hours thereafter. 1. Run the engine approximately 5 minutes to warm up oil. Shut engine off. 2. Open the engine oil drain ball valve protruding from the oil pan on the side opposite the fuel tank. 3. Drain crankcase oil from engine while warm. 4. Turn filter element using a suitable filter wrench to remove. Discard oil filter element. 5. Apply clean engine oil to the new filter at the inner and outer seals and to the filter threads. 6. Wipe both sealing surfaces of the header with a clean rag. Ensure notches and dust seal are properly installed in the slots in the housing. Replace dust seal if damaged. 7. Install and tighten oil filter by hand until firmly against dust seal. Do not apply an extra 3/4 to 1 1/4 turn as done with standard filters. Never use a filter wrench when tightening. 8. Close oil drain ball valve. 9. Fill engine crankcase with correct John Deere oil. The specification of this engine should require 15.8 quarts for a complete fill. Important: immediately after completing any oil change, crank engine for 30 seconds without permitting engine to start. This will help ensure adequate lubrication to engine components before engine starts. Crankcase oil capacity may vary slightly. Always fill a crankcase within crosshatch marks on dipstick. Do not overfill. 10. Start engine and run to check for possible leaks. 11. Stop engine and check oil level after 10 minutes. Oil level reading should be within crosshatch of dipstick. This John Deere engine comes equipped with a fuel-water separating element. Over time, the reservoir can accumulate water and debris. As part of your daily pre-start checklist, this element should be checked and emptied. 1. Loosen drain plugs at bottom of fuel filter, 2 or 3 turns. 2. Loosen air bleed plug 2 full turns on fuel filter mounting and drain water from bottom until fuel begins to drain out. 3. When fuel starts to drain out, tighten drain plugs securely. 4. Operate supply pump primer level until fuel flow is free of air bubbles. 5. Tighten bleed plug securely. 6. Start engine and check for leaks. Drain water into a suitable container and dispose of properly. When using biodiesel blends, monitor water quantity more closely. Water in filter separator may need to be drained more frequently. The engine air filter is mounted to the generator side of the engine, above the bell housing. It is recommended to be checked daily and replaced biannually or as often as necessary under dusty conditions. It is equipped with an indicator to let you know when service is required in order to keep the engine running at its peak. There is a dust trap located under the filter assembly on the end closest to the fuel tank. It can be emptied by squeezing it in such a way that the sides bow, allowing trapped contaminants to exit the assembly. Take care to capture and dispose of the waste properly. 1. To replace the filter, flip the 3 toggle clamps and slide the end of the housing back, exposing the filter. 2. Replace filter. 3. Replace housing and securely latch in place. Note that an improperly installed or clogged air filter will lessen the power of your engine and thus lower the output of the package. Be sure to only replace with genuine Morse Industrial replacement parts. Your Morse Industrial compressor generator package comes from the factory with a multi-purpose cooler package. The fan mounted to the engine pushes sufficient air to effectively cool the compressor oil and the radiator coolant, as long as the cores are kept free of debris and excessive dust. This maintenance is recommended periodically or as required. 1. Ensure engine is not running. Check to make sure. 2. Remove fan guards on either side of the fan. 3. Spray through the cooler package using compressor air regulated to 20 psi max, opposite normal airflow so that the contaminants exit clear of both the generator compressor unit and any other sensitive machinery. 4. Once the cooler package is free of excess dust and debris, reinstall fan guards. Do not operate the machine again until these have been reinstalled. 5. Start engine and check for leaks. Spray with care. Do not damage the tubes or fins of either cooler. The cooling action of this package requires maximum airflow and would be hampered by damage to the fins. The Morse Industrial Generator Compressor Package comes equipped with a 42-gallon fuel tank with integrated visual sight tube. The level of diesel fuel in the tank can be seen from the clear tube mounted to the side of the tank. The tank, tube, and all supply lines should be checked as part of each startup procedure for leaks. Do not run this unit if there are leaks evident. Take care to winterize this unit for extended periods of rest, especially during colder months, as per the John Deere engine manual. Never start this unit when there are leaks evident. Never smoke when handling diesel fuel or maintaining this equipment. The Morse GCRS 4040 and the GC40 packages come from the factory with a 12-volt, 650 cold cranking amps battery. The battery terminals are recommended for maintenance yearly or every 1,000 hours of runtime, whichever happens first. The battery may be replaced when necessary with the Morse Industrial Replacement Unit. To clean the battery terminals, simply remove the positive and negative battery wires, positive first. Clean the inside of the post clamps and the posts themselves with a wire brush until all corrosion is gone. Wipe battery clean. Reattach leads, negative first, positive last, and fasten securely. When replacing the battery, make sure that the new battery fits securely inside the battery tray and that the bracket will fit around the new battery. Never attempt to service the machine with the battery still connected. Never attempt to run the machine without the battery affixed securely via the stock bracketry. The information contained in this presentation is intended to be a quick reference supplement to the detailed information contained in the provided manuals. For questions you may have concerning the package, consult your manuals. If you are still unable to find the answer to your question, contact Morse Industrial. The information in this video does not supersede information in the manuals, nor company policy. Make sure you understand the maintenance you are to perform before you perform it. If you are unsure, please consult the manuals or contact a trained technician.